Hi. So I think I totally messed up our first broadcast. So I'm going to try again, and hopefully I don't ruin everything this time. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to go over some charting 101. So the basics of charting, what it is, how to do it, some strategies. And first of all, I do want to say a lot of people get really intimidated by this. This is something that's really kind of overwhelming and a little bit scary at first. And I know a lot of people, even on our team, that have been here for quite a while, are still a little bit leery of charting and a little bit unsure of how to do it, what to do, what it all means, and how to keep track of it and on top of it. So I want to say, don't be overwhelmed. Don't be nervous or scared about charting. You can totally do this. It's not as complicated as it seems or feels. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First of all, what is charting? Charting is basically just knowing where you're at in this business, and it's understanding where you're going. So you've all seen the different ranks. Everyone, when we start out, we're always a distributor. Our next rank is an executive, up to Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, Double Diamond, Triple Diamond, Presidential, Ambassador. So that's the track that everybody follows. And the way that you get to those different ranks, the way that you promote, is by charting. It's by filling your charts. It's by promoting to the next rank. And the only way to do that is through filling your chart and getting to that next level by completing that charting process. So really, the way that I want you to view it is more of like a game. It's kind of like a game of strategy. If you're into strategy like I am, kind of planning and seeing where you're going, seeing where you're at, it's really just a numbers game. So don't be overwhelmed. It's not something that that you can't figure out. Even if you're not a strategy person or a numbers type of person, it's okay. We're going to figure this out together. And the great thing about this business is that we're a team. We all work together. You're going to see a lot of times in this business, if you're new, OTOM. We are one team, one mission. We're here to help you, whether we are your direct enrollers, Liz or I, or if you have been enrolled by somebody else in your downline, in our downline. We're all one team. We're here to help you, and we're here to support you. So whatever questions you have along the way. And I do want to note too that charting is not an exact science. So you're going to have people that have different philosophies and different ways of thinking. What I'm going to be sharing with you tonight is what has been taught to us by our enroller, by our upline leaders, several layers up. So this is all stuff that has been really tried and true by top earners in our company. So this is stuff that you can really take to the bank. This works, it's effective, and sure, there are other ways to do it, but we're going to teach you the way that we have been taught and the way that we train our team and the way that we chart ourselves personally. So I do want to note too that all of your charts are found in a couple of different places. They're on our team page. So on the Vaughan Adventure Facebook page, if you go into the Files tab and you scroll all the way down, there is a section of all the charts. They start with charting. Go figure. So you can find all the charts there. Each chart pretty much is all-inclusive in terms of what needs to happen on each chart for you to promote. There's also an e-suite in the document library. There's a lot of information on charting for you to go over there. All the charts are there. So everything is made available to you. If you haven't familiarized yourself with either the files or with e-suite, you need to do that and kind of explore around a little bit. So in addition to the actual charts, there's a compensation plan, and that comp plan can be a little bit confusing or a little bit overwhelming if you let it be, but don't let it be. Don't be overwhelmed by it. Go in with an open mind and just learn what you can. And honestly, there's some people, for me, I read it a little bit more and I understand it a little bit more. And there's people like Liz that doesn't understand it. She just knows that she gets a nice paycheck every month. So no matter where you are on the spectrum, it's there and it's available for you. So if you're ever curious, all the information is there and it's available for you. So first of all, before we get into a lot of the specifics of charting, I want to go over some definitions. And if you are brand new, jot these down because this is information that you really need. If you're not brand new, hopefully you already know this information. And if you don't, you need to. So if you're not within your first 30 days, these are definitions that you need to know. Number one, BV. stands for bonus volume. And that is the volume that is assigned to each product that we have. So for instance, our wraps, they cost $59 for loyal customers or for distributors. And the BV that is assigned to them, the bonus volume that's assigned to them, is 54. So each of our items is assigned a BV. There are 2 items that are not assigned a BV, and those 2 items are Fab Wrap and the new Essential Oils Diffuser. As of right now, those are the only items that we have that do not carry a volume. Everything else carries a volume. Some volumes are volume per dollar. So a lot of the supplements, a lot of our lifestyle supplements are volume to dollar. For instance, Confianza is $25 and it's also 25 BV. Green chews are not that way. Green chews are 15 BV, and the price I think is they're 30-something dollars. So certain products cost a certain amount of dollars, and the BV is not the same. And it's honestly, it's just because of what it costs to produce them. So just know that when you're charting, you're looking at BV and not dollars. That's really, really important. GV is your group volume, and your group volume for any distributor is everything that's underneath you. So it's your personal orders, it's your personal auto shipment, it is the orders of your loyal customers and any loyal customers beneath you, and it's the orders of any of your distributors in your downline. So your GV is every single thing that's underneath you, okay? Your PBV, your personal bonus volume, is consists of your auto shipment, and you should be running an 80 BV auto shipment every month. It consists of any personal orders that you make outside of your auto shipment. So for example, this month, our auto shipment runs on the 1st of the month every month. So we run an 80 BV auto shipment. And then, you know, about almost a week ago or so, our essential oil lines was released. So we were super excited and we ordered some oils right away, right? So that's a second personal order from a distributor that, that we made that was outside of our auto shipment. So that counts towards our PBV. Also, your loyal customers on your top line. And when we say top line, that means your loyal customers that you have personally enrolled and you have not moved to another distributor. Okay, so if I sign Jane and she's my customer and I have no other distributors underneath me, she's going to be on my top line always and forever. Later down the road, when we sign anybody at this point, we don't keep any of our personally enrolled loyal customers on our top line. We move them throughout our downline to various distributors for various reasons, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the chart and explain the different parts of the chart. So to do that, I'm going to pull man, I thought I had this all together and I was going to be all slick about it. I'll be a little bit slick though. So here's your executive chart. So let's go over a couple of different definitions. First of all is a box. So obviously this is a box. Anytime you see a box on your chart, that is representative of a distributor. That is always going to be a distributor. It's never going to be a customer or anything like that. It's always a DT that is in that box, always and forever, all right? And we're going to also talk about legs. So anytime we talk about a leg, that is a different top line box. And by top line, I mean somebody that is directly beneath you, that is on your top line. Their line is directly to your box up here, you. These are different legs. So the executive chart has 2 different legs, okay? And then the other thing that we're going to discuss is promotable boxes. So to do that, I'm going to show you actually a Ruby chart in just a second. So a promotable box on any chart is going to be a box that, like on this box, it has a rank here, okay? So instead of a GV, which they're always going to be 400 GV, and a promotable box is going to have a rank here. So for you to promote to Ruby, One of your people on your top line has to promote to executive or have already been an executive. So this is a promotable box that's in your chart. Okay. Pretty slick, right? I'm pretty impressed with myself that I can do that. So not to toot my own horn, sorry about that, but I'm pretty jazzed on that. So those are the basics of the charts, the kind of the anatomy of a chart. And those are really important terms for you to understand. And if those are things you don't understand, we're going to kind of go through them in more detail. But honestly, that's stuff that you just need to commit to memory. And don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. The more you get in your head, we've had people who are very bright people, very smart people who let this get in their heads, and they get too overwhelmed and too stressed out about it, and they kind of lose sight of what the meaning of it all. It's quite simple. Don't overcomplicate it and don't overthink it, and let your upline, let your leaders help you. So the most important thing in charting is to know that this is your responsibility. So it is your responsibility to chart yourself. Even though we chart ourselves, and we chart a lot of people in our downline, anybody that we personally enroll. So we have this binder that is full of charts. It has our current charts, and it has all of our personally enrolled distributors in there. So if you're our personally enrolled DT, we are charting you. If you are not charting yourself, we are charting you. It's important that you're always charting yourself, because you always want to know where you're at. You always want to know where you're going. And if you're not charting and if you're not keeping track of yourself, then there's no way that you're going to be able to effectively do that. So you have to stay on top of your chart, of your new enrollments, of people that you're signing and people that your downline is signing. And the way that you're going to do that is by keeping up with eSuite. So eSuite is your back office, and you're paying $20 a month for this amazing feature. This is incredible. This has all of your reports in it. It has everything that you need to successfully track and keep your business. So I'm a pretty organized person, but I don't have the time or the bandwidth to keep track of everything that I would normally keep track of with, customers and orders and stuff like this. The great thing about eSuite, it does it all for you. So all the data, all the information that you can need is already there. So you just have to learn how to use it. Now, eSuite can be a little bit overwhelming, so I just want to show you how we do charting and how I'd recommend that you do charting as well. So let me show you Tree Viewer. Tree Viewer is a report in eSuite. And this is what Tree Viewer looks like for us. So this is Liz's Tree Viewer right here. And as you can see, we have a lot of different people in our downline, but there's only 5 different legs up here. So me, Michael, Tracy, Colleen, and Dory. So this is her top line. And as you expand down, you'll see that all the distributors here are underneath here, all the way down, however many layers it actually goes. So to chart yourself, if you have not charted yourself, if you are not current with your charts, the way that you need to do that is all you do is you look on your chart, and anybody that's labeled a 1 is on your top line. They're directly beneath you, okay? So you pull out whatever chart you're at. So this is our triple diamond chart. We're charting for presidential diamond. So we would look at that presidential diamond chart, and Chad, Michael, Tracy, Colleen, and Dory all go on the top line, all right? And then underneath myself, then these are the 5 people that are on my top line. And then you just keep going down, all the way down as far as you can go. And you just keep doing that on your chart as far down as you are. And don't overcomplicate it. You can just do it right on there and see everybody that's underneath anybody. So you should be checking this pretty frequently. You can see any new enrollments, any new orders in your downline orders. You should be checking your downline orders every single day. If you're not checking your downline orders every day, then you are not keeping up with your business, and that's a problem. Things happen every day. People get enrolled every day. People sign every day. People return orders. People cancel their accounts. Things happen every day in eSuite that you have to be aware of as your business owner. This is your responsibility. This is not a negotiable. This is not something that you can do, later on once you're a little bit higher up. You have to get in the habit of doing this every day and checking it and being on top of it. And downline orders is the best way to keep track of who you have, downline orders is the best thing that you need to be looking at every day. And then Tree Viewer is what you need to be looking at to chart yourself and to chart your downline. So as you are personally enrolling people as well, you need to chart them and understand where they're at, where they're going. You need to help coach them and show them. A lot of times people don't understand how close they are to a next promotion or something like that. So it takes you showing them to motivate them and to get them going towards that next promotion, actually. So let's first look at your first chart. So the executive chart. This is your first promotion. So if you're brand new in this business, if you're relatively new, if you or maybe you've been here for a while and you just haven't really given it your all, or you haven't really really gotten into it. Executive is your first promotion, all right? So all you need for executive, it's 2 legs, right? So it's 2 different boxes here. They're both at 400 GV. And if you remember, 400 GV is everything that's beneath this distributor. So let's just say that this distributor on the right here, this is John. And John is your first enrolled distributor, and he has a couple customers underneath him. He ran his auto shipment this month, and his customers were super excited about the oils. So they bought a couple of things of oils. So his GV is over 400, and that's awesome. And then you have Sally over here, and this is your friend who signed up with you because she was cool and she was being supportive, and she's got some customers, and she's at 400. All right. So at the end of the month, or at any time of the month, really, if both of these boxes get to GV, get to 400 GV, and you are commission qualified, then congratulations, you have reached executive. Oh, I don't know if I was showing that to you guys the whole time, but if I wasn't, these are the 2 boxes, obviously. So once those 2 boxes get to 400 GV and you are commission qualified, you've reached the first rank. You've reached your first promotion of executive, and that's awesome. The average paid rank there is $309 a month. That's incredible. That's awesome. And that's a huge benefit. A lot of people would love to have an extra $300 a month, so that's wonderful. Then your next promotion, so your next promotion is going to be Ruby, right? So Ruby is, it consists of 5 different boxes. And if you remember, when we talked about boxes, this is just 5 different distributors, okay? So what you would need to do to get to Ruby, you see all these boxes that say 400 GV. So if a box says 400 GV, then guess what? To fill this chart, to get to where you need to get to Ruby, then each of these boxes has to be at 400 GV. And like I said, just to beat a dead horse, I'm sorry if I am, but every auto shipment, every personal order, every order of an LC, every order of a DT that's under these boxes counts towards this GV. So whether it is 400, it can be 3,000, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, as long as it's 400 GV, it counts as a filled box. I do want to go back and say too that one of the terms you're going to hear is qualified leg, and qualified leg is just one of these legs, which you see here on the Ruby chart. There's 3 legs, which is just a box at 400. So qualified leg is just a fancy way to say a 400 GV box. So the way that you have to promote too is by having this promotable leg here at executive. So we talked about what it was to get executive before. It was having 2 boxes, both at 400 GV. No matter how you get to that 400 GV, it's getting up to that 400. And then this executive being commission qualified. Now, something that we haven't talked about yet is being commission qualified. So there are 2 different ways to be commission qualified. qualified. There's only one way that we would ever train you to actually be commission qualified, and that is to run an 80 BV auto shipment. We've done a lot of training on this. We've done a lot of, there's been videos and tips and whys. Basically, the bottom line is you need to run your auto shipment. The way that I see it is this business costs you, if you're running your auto shipment, you're running your e-suite, it's going to cost you about $125 a month. Okay. That seems like a lot of money. And for a lot of people, for us, initially when we started out, that was a lot of money. That was a sacrifice. When you are running a business, it is not reasonable to expect to run a profitable business and not spend anything, not have any buy-in. The point is not to go broke starting this. You shouldn't be going into credit card debt. This shouldn't be burdensome. So if it is burdensome, if it's too much, there's ways around that. So get with Liz or I, get with your upline, and we can help you. We can coach you with that. But if you can swing it at all, you need to run your auto shipment. And there's different videos on why that's important and how to cover your auto shipment. And that is not the purpose of this video. So if you have questions on that, get with us later. But you need to run your auto shipment, especially in a month that you intend to promote or that you're close to a promotion. Running an auto shipment is not an option for you. You have to do it. It's the only way to guarantee that you will be commission qualified. We have had it happen to us in the past where people return an order, and that can happen all the way up until midnight on that month that you're promoting. So it's not, that month is not over until it's over. And if you're not diligent, if you're not watching any order that you're relying on to be a part of your 150 PV that commission qualifies you, if things get returned, things get canceled, and that does happen. We've had family members that have done that to us unannounced, and they just return things or cancel their account. It happens. So please never, ever, ever, ever rely on that 150 PBV. It's a great option if you have to use it, but if you're promoting or if you're really working to work your business, don't rely on that. You need to be running your auto shipment every month. So a couple of other things. I know when we first started out, probably one of the most overwhelming things was looking at a diamond chart. Okay, there's a lot of boxes on it. There's a lot of distributors on it. Honestly, it's really overwhelming to me looking at an executive or a Ruby chart. I thought to myself initially, who in God's name is ever going to sign up to be on our team? Who are we ever going to get to be a distributor? Now it ends up that we have quite a few distributors in our downline, way more than I ever thought we ever possibly could. Not all of them are personally enrolled. But every chart is just made up of rubies. It's all rubies. So if you can look at this Ruby chart and really understand what it is, what it takes to get to that chart, this is all it is. This is the foundation of your business. All you have to do is build rubies, and you teach your people how to build rubies. If you're building rubies and if everybody beneath you is building rubies, then you will be successful. That is what it takes. That is why the company has such a big emphasis on the Ruby bonus. That's why that's such a big deal, because Ruby is critical. It's the foundation for every single promotion and every single chart. And I just want to show you, not to be overwhelming. So if you're easily scared, just close your eyes for a second. But this diamond chart, if you notice here, look at what it is, guys. It's 1, 2, 3 rubies, right? So it's just 3 rubies and a few qualified legs. So instead of looking at it and counting it and be like, I don't know how I'm going to get all these distributors, you're just building rubies. Build 1 ruby at a time. Start small. Fill 1 box at a time. And no matter what rank you are, if you notice whose name is on the top, it's always you. This is your chart. So no matter what is happening in your downline, no matter who's working, who's not working, who's not invested in their business, who's not giving it their all, it doesn't matter. Your chart is your responsibility now, today, and forever. It was funny because we looked at our Ruby chart initially when we started, And I'm actually the only active DT on our Ruby chart from when we promoted to Ruby. So people are gonna, it doesn't matter. Don't let that phase you. And we're gonna get to that in a little bit. We get to some more of the complex stuff. But your chart's your responsibility. And no matter where you're at, no matter what has happened, no matter who's on your chart, no matter who's quit, who's not on your chart anymore, you can do it. There was a great post today by she was either a presidential or an ambassador, Diamond, who it took her 2 years to get to Diamond, and another it took her 5 years to get to presidential. But I mean, if you're making $20,000+ a month and it takes you 5 years, when are you ever going to earn that money in your current job, right? So no matter how long it takes you, no matter how much work you have to put into filling this chart and filling up the volume and filling up the boxes, it is worth it. It is 100% worth it. So now, when we're talking about these charts and we're talking about legs, every chart has a strong leg. And when I say strong leg, let's look at this Ruby chart again. So the strong leg here is the leg that has the most boxes, or it's the highest rank. So it's an executive over here on the Ruby chart. And if we were, let's just say, look at an Emerald chart. Let me pull that up. This chart really has two strong legs, right? So there's two different rubies here. There's two rubies here in this Emerald chart. If you have a spouse, if you're married, your spouse needs to be signed. You need to sign your spouse, and you need to put your spouse in one of your strong leg spots. I was the first DT that was signed under Liz. And on a side note, I was not interested in being involved at all initially. And here I am on this training video. So if you have an unsupportive spouse or a spouse that's not into it, don't stress it. They don't need to be active in the business to fill a box and to be a part of your chart. Then the reason that you do that is because you'll be earning effectively double income, or at least two different paychecks on the same income. So if when Liz promoted to Emerald, the average Emerald income is $1,100 a month, right? And I was a Ruby at that time. So as a Ruby, your average income is $600 a month. So right there, that's an average of $1,700 a month, because I was her Ruby and we were earning both incomes on that chart. So you always want to be, your spouse should always be on your chart. Your spouse should always be on your top line. And if you're ever going to sign your spouse, they must be on your top line. That is not an option. That is a compliance issue. So if you have not signed your spouse and you are been in this business for a while, get with us and we'll figure out what we need to do in your situation. But if you are new and you have signed your first 4 loyal customers in your first 30 days, you need to look at signing your spouse. And there's a file on the team pages. Get with your upline, get with us, and we can coach you through that. But that's something that's really important for you and for your business, to make sure that you're earning the most money possible on the work that you're putting in. So that's that. One of the other things I want to talk about is maintaining your rank. So there's a couple different ways to maintain your rank. When you promote to any rank, let's say, let's look at that Emerald, or let's actually not look at Emerald. Let's look at the Ruby chart one more time. So to promote to Ruby, all these boxes, these 400 GV boxes, need to be filled to 400 volume. They can be beyond 400 volume, but these 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes need to be at 400 GV. And this executive needs to be commission qualified and promoting to executive in that month for you to go Ruby. Now the next month, let's say that your person that's executive has turned off their auto shipment. They're no longer going to be executive. They're going to fall back down a rank. That's okay. You can maintain your rank from Ruby and beyond based on volume. And the way that you do that, there's actually a photo in the helpful photo, or I think it's helpful pictures or helpful photos, photo album on our team page that will go over, that has all this information, maintenance by volume. And it's also in the compensation plan. So feel free to, again, take a peek at that and see all the details there. But you can maintain by rank. And it doesn't matter about the boxes so much. They don't all have to be at 400 to maintain Ruby. You need a 4,000 GV. Okay, and if you're new and starting out, that's going to seem really overwhelming, but I promise you, you will get there, and that is going to happen for you naturally. That's going to happen over time. You're going to work for it, and it's going to happen for you. You just have to take 2,000 of it. It has to be in what we call splits. Okay, so no more than 2,000 of that can come from your strongest leg. So the way that you would look at that is you would go into your reports in eSuite. You would look at volume by leg report, and then you're going to see all your different legs. So you're going to see your top line DTs, and you're going to see the volume in one leg, the volume in two leg, the volume in three leg, and you just can't have more than 2,000 of that 4,000 count from one leg. And then the volumes just increase. So for Emerald, it's an 8,000 GV maintenance. For Diamond, it's a 10,000 and things like that. And it just it goes up and up. But as you're signing and as you're training your team and as you're duplicating yourself on your team, that volume is going to increase naturally. And we do awesome things like different promotions, BOGO wraps, and we do launch incredible products like WOW and essential oils. You're going to see huge jumps in your volume as well. And the company is really good about helping us with different promotions and things like that. So you don't have to, when you fill your boxes to all 400, that is how you promote, but that is not how you have to maintain. You can maintain like that, and sometimes that is the cheaper way to maintain your rank, but that's not always necessary. So that is something that we can discuss as it's appropriate for you in your journey month to month. So you can get with your upline, or you can get with Liz or I, and we can help you, and we can look at your volumes and see what needs to happen to maintain. But that is your responsibility, and that's something for you to look at. And no matter, we have definitely gone months where we have, promoted to a certain rank, and then we've gone down a month back to the rank before. Once you have been paid at a rank, you'll notice when you log into eSuite, there's a couple of different things when it comes to rank. There's your current paid rank, which is whatever rank you're currently at during the month. There's going to be your previous month rank, which is interestingly, the month previous that you were paid at, and then your lifetime rank. So that your lifetime rank is the highest rank that you've ever achieved. And no matter what happens, no matter, let's say you have a catastrophic event in your family or in your life or whatever happens, and you take the month off and you step away from your business, you can come back into your business and get back to your rank based on volume at any time. So whatever happens with the boxes, you have people that quit your business or that decide to turn everything off or cancel or whatever, that doesn't matter. You just get back there by rank, which is really, really great. That's a very cool, really cool part of our compensation plan. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, there were some specific questions in our team event page about charting and things like that were a little bit more in depth. So I'm going to look at those. So if you are prone to being overwhelmed by charting, or if your head is already spinning, this would probably be a good time for you to exit. I don't want to overwhelm you, but if you're hanging and if you're good, then we're going to keep going. By the way, there's also a group chat in here on this team, or on this on this live stream. So if you have any questions, you can also type them in here, and then we'll get to them towards the end. But we only have a few questions, so we'll make this relatively speedy. Miata was asking about that she's practically charted for Diamond, working towards double Diamond. At what point do you start filling the boxes of one of your 3 qualified legs since at triple diamond there's only 2 qualified legs required. So what she's talking about, let me pull up. Sorry, let me pull up that graphic. I thought I had it up and ready, but obviously I don't. All right. So Miata, to answer your question specifically, and for anybody else, ooh, this looks weird. So these are your different diamond and a plus ranks. So this first level up here, this first line is diamond. So diamond consists of 1 emerald leg, 1 ruby leg, and 3 qualified legs. And remember, those qualified legs are just 400 GV legs. Double diamond is 1 emerald, 1 diamond leg, and 3 qualified legs. And so this is the jump that you're talking about, Miata. It's to double diamond to triple diamond. And this is a big jump. This is a lot of distributors. This is a lot of volume added. This is a big jump. And this is the jump where you go from double diamond to VIP, which is triple diamond, which has some added benefits to it, which is great. At this point, you have to pick who's going to be your 3rd diamond. Oh, I don't know if I was showing this to everybody. I'm sorry if I wasn't. So this top one is diamond, double diamond, and then triple diamond on the 3rd. So at some point you have to decide one of your top 3 qualified legs is going to become a diamond. Like it or not, right or wrong, good or bad, that's what's going to happen. So you're going to have to pick somebody. You're never going to replace your top line unless people like cancel their account and they're no longer considered an active DT. You're not gonna replace them. That's not what we train to do. And I know Jamie, you had a question about that, so we're going to get to that in just a second too. So at some point you just decide. We decided that there was a family member that we had signed to our top line that we wanted to bless, and that was a person that we decided to make a diamond. This person is not active in the business necessarily, supportive and really cool about it, but not active. It's just somebody that we have decided that, you know, we're gonna make somebody a diamond. So we want to make you a diamond. We wanted to bless this person, so that's what we did. But if you have somebody who's rocking and rolling on your top and who's great and who's really kicking it and who's previously just a qualified leg but is signing people and is really on fire, then make that person your diamond and help them and train them towards diamond. The goal is to help everybody and anybody, but you really want to look at the people, look at your runners, and we always will train you to run with your runners. So those are the people that you're really going to run with at any point in time. Let's see. What were the other questions? Let me find. So Miata also asked what happens when somebody is not running their auto ship, even though they're in a promotable box. Does that result, or does the result doesn't promote? Okay, so if somebody is in a promotable box, let's say you're promoting to diamond and your ruby was previously executive, but is now chartered for ruby, and you need them to be ruby this month for your promotion to emerald. So you have a choice here. Number one is work with this person and let them know, hey, like, I really want you to be able to promote. This is the plan. You're ready to go. All you need to do is make sure that you run an auto shipment. And if they are not willing to do that, then you have options. You can qualify them based on PBV, which is a little bit risky, but that is something that you can choose to do. So if there's things that you need for your personal use, let's say, you know, whatever, you are running out of Profit and you need some It's Essential bars, and those are things that you normally use on a normal basis. Or let's say you have a party or an event coming up and you need to stock up and you want to have some products ready for that party, or going to a fair and you want to have lots of wraps and lots of energy on hand, or wow, or whatever the case may be. You can order some things and actually move an order to that distributor. And you do that right through orders in eSuite, and you go into order history and you can move them. And you can, when you place an order and you move it to a distributor, it actually boosts their PBV. So again, if that is something that you are going to need anyway, and that's something you plan on ordering, you can move it into a place that's most beneficial for you. And you can do that anywhere in your downline. And on a side note, any order that you place ever, you should always move. Especially if you have a spouse, you should place it under them because it will boost your group volume and theirs, resulting in bigger paychecks for you both. So you'll both get paid off of it, which is pretty ballin'. You can both get paid off of stuff that you're going to be ordering anyway, which is nice. Let's see. And then Jamie says, okay, so this is a really common question. And what do we do with people that are not working or who don't have any volume or have basically walked away from the business? Like I said, in our Ruby chart that I have, that I was looking at, I am the only active distributor. And I think of those first 5 that we had, I think honestly of our first like 30 loyal customers, Liz and I signed all but maybe like 5 to 9 of them, less than 10. So we signed almost all of the first customers in our chart. And that was tough, but it's our responsibility because it's our chart and it's our paycheck and it's our future and we're working on ROI. So it's up to us, right? Not anybody else. So no matter what happens in your downline, no matter whether somebody is active or not, or working their business, do not replace them. Again, this is the way that we train. This is the way that our upline top earners in our company have trained, how they have charted, how they have trained us to chart. So that's how we're going to tell you to chart. Never, ever, ever, ever replace a box. And by a box, I mean, of course, a distributor. It is much more difficult to sign a distributor than it is to sign a customer normally, or to fill volume. Volume comes much easier, and volume is easier because you can maintain on volume, like we're talking about, not on box, just on your total volume. So once you get to a rank, what happens with each particular box isn't quite as important as it takes to promote to that rank. So if your boxes are filled for any promotion, whether it's Ruby or Emerald or Diamond, you need to promote. You need to do what you can to promote, and it is your responsibility to fill that volume. So whether or not that person is active or not, it's your responsibility to sign the customers, get the orders, whatever it takes to get that volume. And if it takes a month, 2 months, whatever it takes, but you need to do it. If you're Ruby but you have a filled Diamond chart, that's a shame. There's no reason to sit on a full chart and not promote. And if you're not working towards it, then you're throwing it away. And that's not to you, Jamie. That's for anybody. Anytime that you're sitting on a filled chart, you got to fill it with that volume and promote. You just have to promote. Especially once you get to Diamond, you guys, there's a whole other parts of the compensation plan that opens up for you. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of that right now because it doesn't apply to everybody. But you will make exponentially more money when you get to Diamond and above than you do below. And not that making $600 a month at Ruby is chump change. It's certainly not. That's wonderful and that's life-changing. So is $10,000 a month. So you want to work towards that, and you want to promote as quickly as possible. You can always work on volume. You have a lifetime to work on volume. Sometimes you only have those boxes filled once, and you have to seize that opportunity. Let's see. Actually, I think that's it. I think that's all of the questions that I saw for tonight. Let me see if anybody else had questions. I think that was all the questions. All right, I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for joining tonight, whether you're live or watching the playback, and hope this helps. If you have any questions, please, please, please always get with your upline, get with your enroller. If you're in our downline, we're very happy to help you. Please contact us by message or utilize the team page. We are truly one team and one mission. We want to see everybody successful. And remember to never compare your journey to anybody else's. So whether it takes you a year, 2 years, 5 years to get there, you just need to get there. You remember your why. Remember why you started this business, and keep that on the front of your mind. And don't ever let your why become your reason why not. Keep your eye on the prize, and you can do this. We believe in you. We're here for you. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.